Hey folks, it's been a while. I thought I'd go ahead and just get right into this. About a week ago, I was at another member of the train club's house. He had a room that was full of boxes that were donated to the club. I think someone had passed away, and a donation was made to the club, and it had about 200 boxes of models, buildings, track, all in various states of, usefulness, I guess. In the case of brass track, not very useful at all. But some of the stuff is going to be sold at the train show. Some of it's being used to be put to train sets that could be given to kids or sold really cheaply to kids to get them into the hobby, which is great. Some of them are being donated as parts to people who fix trains, that sort of thing. And I pulled out pieces that I thought would be really good to sell if they run really, at all, if they run well. And some of the pieces I'm going to be testing are going to be used for those train sets mentioned before. So why don't we crack this open, where we'll take a look at what we have. I think there's about 30 pieces in here. We'll see if they run. Well, yeah. Let's get to it, I guess. Alright, so the first model we are taking a look at is this SW1 switcher for Boston and Maine. Kind of dusty, which I think will be a common theme with these models here. That doesn't look too bad. You can see the inventory number sticker on it from the club. Let's see, it's made by AHM in Yugoslavia. Let's focus the camera a little bit. Interesting. It's got KDs, but oh yeah, there you are, glued in on a mounting pad. It looks like on the chassis. That's interesting. Not very straight either. Wheels are kind of dirty. They need to be cleaned, but this could be a good one for a cheap starter set. We'll see how it performs after we clean it up and I get all this dust off. I'm interested to see how it performs. I'm not too familiar with AHM stuff in general, so we'll have to take a look. Next up is this Alco Century, also made by AHM, I believe, and decorated for the Burlington Northern. I was thinking this one could also be a good fit for one of those little train sets. We'll have to see how it performs after we clean up the wheels. I'll get that dust off of those footboards there. And these things are just really dusty. Not a whole lot of detail on these either, but it has all its parts. The handrails aren't broken. It has the horns, which I feel like those always break off. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this one can do and how it performs. It should be okay. Another AHM Alco, Milwaukee Road this time, in a stunning black and orange. Or is that brown and orange? I'm not entirely familiar with Milwaukee Road. Yeah, it's another AHM. Dirty wheels again. But we'll get this one cleaned up and clean the wheels, lube up the gears and bearings, and we'll see how it performs. Hopefully we get two nice little Centuries out of this lot. Alright, this was one of the higher quality models I think I pulled out of that lot. This is an Atlas made in, I think it says made in Austria. Yeah, made in Austria.
I like trains.
This is an S4 switcher, also labeled for Boston and Maine. There's a lot of Boston and Maine stuff in this lot, I think, but it weighs a good deal. This handrail on the back likes to pop out, but that's an easy, just stick it back in. It does weigh a decent amount, pretty hefty. It's got the KDs already installed, that's really nice. Wheels are brass, which I'm not super fond of, but they're got a little bit of dirt on them. Let's see if we can focus a little bit. Yeah, not too terrible. This one should clean up nicely. I'm actually really excited to see how it performs. It's a nice one. If it was DCC ready, I'd say we keep it for the club, but alright, our first Southern Blue box. Get ready to see a lot of these. This is a Union Pacific U28C. It's got those steel-centered wheels. It's a beefy looking thing. I really like it. It's got this massive screw where the coupler pocket is. I don't know why they thought using that size screw was a good idea, but it's missing a lot of the detail. It doesn't have handrails, doesn't have its horn, but it seems clean otherwise. Like, if you can get those parts, you'd probably have a decent model to run. It'll need some cleaning on the wheels. All these are going to need wheel cleaning, I think. That's just how it is with these. With this lot, I think. I don't think you're going to find anything that doesn't need the wheels cleaned. Yeah, I don't know. Something about it speaks to me, and I really like it. We'll get it cleaned up and see how it goes. Alright, another blue box. And get ready for me saying that a lot. This is a GP38-2 in the Southern Pacific Santa Fe pre-merger scheme for Santa Fe in this case. It still has its horn hook couplers. It doesn't look too bad. The handrails are painted, they're the metal ones. It looks like there was super glue used on the class number boards in the back. That's unfortunate. And the handrails on the fireman's side are really wonky. It's like they used the wrong size. They should be longer, I think. I don't know. I would take those out and maybe put newer ones in. And the glass on the front is also kind of crazed over. But these, yeah, I think they swapped the stanchions for the wrong side. It may have been what happened there. I'm not entirely sure, but it's unfortunate. Maybe someone could fix that. Maybe put some plastic handrails or, rebend their own. But, it's blue box. It probably runs. So we'll see how it goes. All right, next is a Walthers -8 for the Burlington Northern Santa Fe. It seems okay, except for that. The fuel tank does not stay on. It looks like the mounting screws, the mounting pins for the motor, it just broke off. It's unfortunate. Looks like someone used glue to hold it in. The wheels are very worn. I'm not sure this one would be really good for anything, to be honest, but I pulled it thinking it could be possibly used as a good project loco, or maybe we can get it running. I don't know. It seems like most of its detail is here. Handrails are on. It's really dusty. It's missing couplers, but that's an easy fix. Yeah, I don't know if we can fix this one. I'll take a look at it and see. Maybe if it runs well, maybe we can get something good out of it, but not entirely sure. All right, another blue box and another Boston and Maine. This is a GP40, and yeah, it looks in decent shape. The wheels are a bit gunked up there. It's unfortunate, but I mean, that's like I said, it's gonna be the case for all of these, I think. Looks like there's some weird fiber, like lots of dirt and fiber by the brake shoes. I'm gonna have to clean that out, but popping off the side frame shouldn't be too hard. Handrails look okay. Maybe a little bent, but not as wonky as that Santa Fe unit. It's missing its horn, and it's got dusty footboards, missing some couplers. Missing couplers don't bother me too much, but yeah, maybe we can get something out of this. I don't know if there's many Boston and Maine fans in this central Texas region, but maybe. All right, a blue box SW7 for the Southern Pacific. This is another Athearn. It's kind of lightweight. Doesn't really weigh much, but it's missing a handrail on the fireman's side. It looks to be in decent shape otherwise. It's got horn hooks and dirty wheels. Yeah, if we can get this one running, it'll probably have that nice growl to it. Handrail should be easy enough to swap out, but yeah, we'll see if this one runs at all. Blue box F7 for the Pennsylvania Railroad. This one doesn't look to be in too bad a shape, although it looks like a lot of the it's got some loose truck detail, like the brake rigging maybe. The shell seems okay. It's got some glue here on the nose, it looks like. That should clean off pretty easily. It's got glass in the portholes. The windshield up front looks like it's loose or something. But it has the horns. It's very dusty. It's got a Katy on the back, nothing on the front. Brass flywheels inside. Dirty wheels. Well, we'll see. Like I've been saying, we'll see how it runs and see what we can do. All right, a blue box SDP 40 for the Santa Fe in that freight blue color. And I'm not really into like the 70s railroads in particular, but I really like this paint scheme. I don't know if it's actually a 1970s paint scheme, but it's something I really like the yellow and the blue. I think it's really catching. It's got an old price tag on the bottom. That's funny. It's got your horn hooks, dirty wheels, handrails seem to be all there. The handrails were glued in with super glue on the sill. It's missing a rear headlight. Horn is a little loose, but it's there at least. There's a lot of super glue on the pilot here. It's unfortunate, but That's how these things are sometimes. Alright, another Jeep, another blue box. This is a Mopac GP50, and the shell is loose on this one. Just kind of pops up, and yeah, you can see it's a standard Athearn mechanism inside. Nothing special. Looks like someone fitted KDs to it, kind of crudely. Just kind of sticks out the back there. It's really kind of loose. Yeah, we'll just pop the shell back on. I don't know what's going on with these handrails, but that's just how it is. It doesn't have any stanchions to go with it, but Mopac is pretty popular in this area of Texas, so maybe someone will be interested in a nice project locomotive, and we'll see if we can get it running and cleaned up and just make it nice and presentable. Alright, another blue box Jeep, another Santa Fe freight scheme, and another OSHA violation with these handrails. I like these in particular because the shell pops off, has this little compartment that pops off, and someone put some weight there. I'd probably hide some candy in there personally. But they put extra steel plates in there for extra weight. It's not in bad shape, it just needs some handrails and a little detail added, and I think someone could have a really nice Jeep here. Not too bad. Okay, we have another Jeep. This is a GP40 for Boston and Maine, and it looks like it's not a blue box. This one, it's got a loose shell. That's unfortunate. The decal job looks kind of custom. You can see the silvering on those decals there. So I'm not sure if this is factory or not. That plow is definitely not. That's a Details West piece, I think. You can see it's made by Atlas. I think it's another Austrian Atlas. Yeah, not too bad. I guess someone custom painted this one. That's my guess, at least. It's got jewels, or at least a jewel on the nose for the class lights, and jewels on the rear for the rear class lights. It has all its handrails. That shell is really loose, but we can see if maybe we can get it running and see what's what with this one. It's kind of a weird one. Next up, we have a GP60 for Rio Grande. Another blue box. These don't look too dirty on this one. Floppy coupler. A lot of super glue on these handrails, which is not great. I don't like the blue box handrails. They're way too thick looking to me. I would always take them off and put something else on, but not a bad piece. It'll probably run. I'm not too worried about it. Now here is an interesting one. This is a Varney F3. This is all die cast and it weighs a ton. But it's really cool. I like this thing a lot. I don't know if the paint is custom. Headlight is kind of wonkily drilled. It's got a spring belt drive on the rear truck and a cloth covered wire going to the front truck. Someone pinned a KD into the back with like a cotter pin or something. It's got brass wheels. A little dirty, but not too bad. I'm sure those would shine right up. This thing is cool. I really like it. It just weighs a lot. You would hurt someone with it if you threw it hard enough. But yeah, I kind of want to see if this runs. I don't think this one would go in a train set, but maybe you could sell it at the show, or maybe I could add it to my collection if I make them an offer. But I like it a lot. I think it's cool. All right, now we're getting to locomotives with boxes. And this is, of course, blue box. This is an SD9. I think this is the wide body version that Athearn came out with. And yeah, it has its instructions, and it has a note telling you, looks like motor vibration, which about contacts, it's how to make removal easier. Yeah, some notes, and this looks like these notes were made on February 27th, 2021. But here it is. Kind of a beefy looking thing. I like the paint scheme. I think this is the wide body version. I actually am not too sure. It probably is. Doesn't look too bad. Got handrails installed, not painted. It's nice looking. A little dusty. Could use some detail. But we'll see how it runs and see if there's any issues. And I'll have to read that note that it came with and see what's what. Right, this is the only steam locomotive out of the lot. At least the lot that I took home, I should say. This is a little tank engine decorated for the Peabody short line, and I think it's made by AHM, but I think it's a Rivarossi locomotive imported by AHM. And the thing that was interesting to me was how fine the wheels and the valve gear were for an AHM model. I always feel like it's usually pretty crude with the valve gear on these older locomotives, but I want to see how it performs and what's up with it. It's got a motor in the cab. It's got a bell that's loose. It's missing a whistle, and I think some valves back here in front of the cab, but it's not a bad looking little guy. I like it. It's got a KD on the back. We'll see if this one runs and how it does, but let's put it just back in its bag for now. Alright, this is our first Bachmann, a Spectrum, and the box says it's a Phase 3 Amtrak F40PH. This is your classic Amtrak 1970s and 80s locomotive, the P42's predecessor. This one looks pretty clean. It's got separately applied handrails. Kind of crude, but you know, they were trying. See the dual flywheels. Wheels look pretty clean. Shell's not too bad. Well, the rear handrails are a little loose, but that's not a deal breaker. It doesn't look like they're broken. They just need to get popped back in. Maybe a little bit of glue will fix that. No big deal. But yeah, we'll see if there's any issues with this. Hopefully there's no cracked gears. I feel like when there's cracked gear issues, it's always Bachmann. And oh, there's the front coupler and its coupler pocket. Just kind of sitting in the box there. Let's move those so they don't scratch the shell. I'll just put this back in the box, I think. And we'll test it. And yeah, make sure it runs. I need to get one of these. An F40PH, not necessarily the Bachmann one, but I'd like to get one eventually. Alright, another blue box, another heavy one. And this is... Ooh. Okay, this is more my speed. This is a -9. Another note card. Let's see, nice paint, nice detail parts, rears, gear noise. I mean, all blue boxes have gear noise. It's not indicative of anything. Looks like no rear headlight, but that's also, I mean, you're not going to find a rear headlight on most blue boxes, I don't think. I'll have to go through that card later. And what we have here is, it is completely untouched. All the details are there. -9 number 9711. Very clean. I like this a lot. This is very nice. I don't doubt it's going to work. This would make a nice project for someone. I know UP doesn't really use -9s anymore. They're getting some of them rebuilt, but it's this would be a nice piece to have if you're doing that mid to late 90s, early 2000s Union Pacific thing. But that's cool. I like this one. I put it back in the box before I start putting it together. It has all its pieces. That's the best part. This one would sell really easily, I think. Alright, we have another Bachmann. And let's just crack it open and see what we're dealing with. We won't even look at the side label there. This, it's another more modern Union Pacific locomotive. This looks like a -8 because it's a little shorter than the one we just looked at, and it has a wide cab. Let's pull it out and see what we're dealing with. I've never really handled a lot of Spectrum diesels up close before, so I don't really know how they compare to, you know, newer Athearn stuff. Yeah, it's a -8. Oh, that rear coupling lever is a little busted, but maybe we can fix that. KD coupler, or the Bachmann one, I'm not sure. You can tell with the separately applied handrails, it's like they're kind of thick, painted black for some reason, but they were trying. So you gotta give them credit for that. They were trying. It weighs a decent amount. It's not too bad. It's got crew figures in the cab. Yeah, again, hopefully there's no cracked gears, and we'll see if it runs. And yeah, it'd be a nice piece for someone. It has all its detail parts. It looks like no one has actually run this before, so we'll just put it back in the box and I'll test it out. Okay, blue box, and a little smaller, a little lighter weight. Let's see what we have. It looks like we have Burlington Northern, and this looks like a GP40-2. Also untouched. Doesn't look like anyone has started working on this one, adding those details and handrails and stuff. Clean wheels for the most part. Doesn't look like anyone has ever run it. There's something about a brand new, untouched blue box model that's really nice. The shell's really on tight. I'm not gonna try to force it, I don't think. But it has all its parts. I'll test it, make sure it's running, but like the other ones, I'm not that worried it's not gonna run. Let's just put it back for now. Another Athearn. This is actually not an Athearn ready to run. This is another blue box. And I think they just put it in this box because they didn't have a box to put it in. This is a Mopac SD40-2. It's missing its handrails, of course. Let's pull it out and see what we're dealing with. As you can see, it's missing handrails. Yeah, dusty. And it's got a loose top cover for hiding candy. No candy in this one. No extra weights either. But it's there. Room for a Snickers or something. It just needs to get cleaned up. We'll clean the wheels like the other ones and see if it runs. Alright, another blue box. And we'll just pop this open. And we're dealing with Southern Pacific this time. Looks like an SD45. This one also looks untouched in terms of detail. Wheels are pretty clean. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of gunk on them. Yeah, not too bad. Shell's a bit loose, but there's the mechanism. So we'll just pop the shell back on, put it back in the box, I think. Make sure we get this shell on the right way. I think it was on backwards before for some reason. Line up these little tabs here. It should just pop on. And back in the box. Alright, another Bachmann Spectrum. This time we have a Chicago and Northwestern with a narrow nose. Bachmann Spectrum-8. This time it says it doesn't run. We'll pull it out, take a look. This is can't see any detail parts in it, but it's the narrow nose -8 for Chicago Northwestern. Handrails have been applied and doesn't seem too bad. I wonder what the issue is. Pilot detail there with that MU cable. It's missing some glass here in the cab. I guess we'll take a look at what? There's this weird hole on the top of the deck here. What is that about? Did someone drill all the way through the deck for the coupler screw? I think that may have been what has happened. Oh, man. So we'll take a look at this one, see what the deal is. If it doesn't run, maybe it could be a good parts locomotive for someone if they want a shell or the trucks or something. It might be just cracked gears. I'm not feeling any wheels that are spinning by themselves, but this is just a preliminary look at it. We'll do a more detailed look later when we get it on the track. Back into the box for now. And another Bachmann Spectrum. Union Pacific-8. Different road number this time. Looks to be in much of the same condition as the last one. I'm not even going to take it out of the box, but I will test it later. Blue box. This time, let's take a look and see. It says GP30 Union Pacific. And it's got a warning label. Packet of parts that's been opened. Interesting. Looks like it's just the stanchions and some other bits and bobs. Put that over there. Warning, handle with care. This body shell is not firmly attached to the chassis. Permanently attached. Okay. Interesting. So this doesn't look like an Athearn shell. And let's see. Yeah, just kind of pops off there. It's got light pipes. That's interesting. Not something I'm used to from Athearn for blue box models like this. It looks clean. I know Scale Trains and Broadway Limited both have their GP30s out now, but maybe if you want a cheap one, this could be the ticket. Although I guess Proto Power never got around to making that adapter for the shell, interestingly enough. I guess we'll see if it runs. And maybe if someone needs a chassis for their GP30, and we got one, but it's a decent looking shell, all things considered. The handrails are plastic. It's got sunshades, the horns there. Not too bad. It's just the fact that it just comes off is an interesting design choice. I don't know what was going on there. And another Bachmann Spectrum, Union Pacific -8. Different road number this time. Looks to be in much of the same condition as the last one. I'm not even going to take it out of the box, but I will test it later. Alright, another blue box. And this one is kind of long and looks like another -9, this time for Southern Pacific. Another very clean -9. Yeah, that's what it is. It's got all its detail parts, untouched. Clean wheels. Yeah, I don't think this was ever really run. I'm sure someone would be really happy to get one of these. I'm not a Southern Pacific kind of guy, but surely someone will give this a good home. It just needs a little bit of detail here and there. We'll put it on the track to test it anyway, make sure it runs, and give it some grease, because I'm sure this has been sitting for a long time. All these have been sitting for probably a long time. Okay, this is our last one. This is a Athearn Blue Box SD40T-2 for the Cotton Belt. Overall, it looks like a pretty nice piece. It's got a chip out of here on the cab, which is unfortunate, but maybe someone could replace that with a, I don't know, maybe Cannon and Company cab. Maybe you can get a replacement from Athearn, but it looks pretty nice. Someone detailed this pretty well with the red on the fuel tank, on the gauges there. The handrails are nicely painted. The cab's a little loose, just a little. You can see the gap between the, there we go, between the shell and the cab, but it just needed to be popped back into place. No big deal. Any candy inside? No, this panel is not budging too well. I'm not going to fight it. No candy this time. It's got its horn. It's got some nice detail. This is a nice piece. I think this would sell really quickly. I am going to test it, and we'll see how it runs, and we'll clean it up, lube it up. We'll do what we have to do. But that's going to do it. Let's get to testing. Okay, so first I'm going to test the most promising of these models, and to me that is this Atlas S4 switcher. And we're just going to test it on our cheap, crappy train set controller, straight from the box, no cleaning, no lube, nothing like that. Let's see what it does. Oh, we got life. Ooh, that's smooth. Oh man, that is a crawl. This is really nice. I only have about 3 sections of track hooked up here, so I can't go too far, but a little bit of a squeaky wheel, but okay. We'll lube this one up, clean its wheels. This one gets a passing grade from me. Next we have the Boston and Maine SW1 made by AHM. Let's see how it goes. Oof. Oof. Come on. Let's see if we can... Well, this one did have... Yeah, it's got really bad gunk on the wheels. We'll clean this one up. Okay, next we have the Southern Pacific SW7. This is a blue box, I believe. See if it does anything. Whoop. Moved. Wheel off the rail. Fix that. I think I just didn't put it on correctly. Not bad. I mean, well, you can see some sparks. But it runs. This one also has a lot of gunk on the bottoms of the wheels. We'll clean those up with the mineral spirits and loop the gear towers and all that stuff. We'll pop this one open. Prognosis looks good for the little SW7 switcher. So that's the little switcher diesels out of the way. Next, I have that pair of Alco Century diesels. Let's try this one first. If this one performs anything like that, that Boston and Maine, you know, maybe it'll just need some clean wheels, some oil. We'll see. It runs, kind of. I imagine a lot of these haven't run in a long time, so they probably have to, you know, warm up a bit, but I don't know. We'll open it up and we'll see what the deal is. I'm not gonna expect much anything different out of this one, but we'll try it. That's what we're here for. Whoop. I heard a click and then it stopped. Nothing. I think we got a dead locomotive. That's unfortunate. Yeah, look at those. Those are where the traction tires are. They're really dirty. And then you got gunk on the other side, but yeah, I'm not getting anything out of it. Oh well. That's unfortunate. That's, okay. Maybe we can open it up and see if there's a loose wire or something. If there are, maybe we can fix it, but yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, we have the Mopac GP50, and we'll see if, No. Let's put that a little bit. There we go. You know what? Alright, so it runs fine, just like any blue box does. It's got the gear noise. We'll clean it up and get that gunk off. But I noticed a loose wire on my controller over there. I'm going to put the Alco Century back on and see if it runs again. Let's try that one more time. Alright, round 2 for the Alco Century here from AHM. Okay. Yeah, I had a loose wire on my controller over here. And I bumped it, I think, but you know, it runs. It sounds like crap, but at least it runs. We'll take it apart and we'll see if we can make it sound a little bit nicer. Okay, next is this Pennsylvania F unit and see what happens. Oh man, thing's got quite a coast with those flywheels there. Headlight in the cab, definitely not a headlight where the headlight needs to be. But, imagine with a better controller I could probably get this to crawl. It's growling. Come on. Yeah. Okay, that one works. Sticking with the F-unit theme, the Varney. Let's see what it does. Oh my god. Oh, come on. I love this thing. I love it so much. I think we need to... It's got a nice crawl to it. I think the wheels need to be cleaned a little bit. Could I add DCC and sound to this, you think? You'd have to isolate the old motor, the open frame motor, but... Could probably get a decoder that can handle the amperage. I don't think I would change the motor on this thing. I'd like to keep it original. Put a current keeper inside of it. Oh man, I'm having bad ideas, but I love this thing. That's cool. I'm really glad it works. Okay, the other Santa Fe Jeep. This is that other one missing those handrail stanchions. Yeah. It's jumping. I wonder if it has a cracked gear, but you can kind of tell. It's got a bit of a hump. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. That's bizarre. Oh, yeah. I don't think you're supposed to be able to rotate these wheels independently of each other. Maybe you can, I don't know. I'm gonna take this thing apart. We'll clean it up, see what the deal is. I've got some spare wheels. Will those fit? Those might fit. Yeah, we'll if we can fix it up and get it to a good home, maybe it'll be worth it. All right, another blue box Jeep, Santa Fe, merger scheme. Oh, there it goes. Kind of took off suddenly. This one also has some pretty dirty wheels. It's missing some handrails there by the nose as well. Come on. Oh, I can smell the ozone with this one. It's like I'm in my grandma's basement playing with trains again. I grew up with the blue box models too. I have a really soft spot in my heart for them. Okay, this one, oh, it's sparking pretty badly. So this one definitely needs a little bit of attention. Yeah, those wheels are really bad, but that's okay. I think this one's a good candidate for cleaning and lubing. You get it a good home, probably. Okay, not getting anything from this one. Doesn't seem to want to run. This is a blue box, so I'm not sure what the deal is. We could pop the shell off and see what's going on. Huh. Well, look at that. Someone put a Digitrax decoder in this thing. Hardwired and everything. Motor mount's loose, but that's not a huge deal. That commutator, look how black that is. That's bad. Okay. I didn't think I was gonna have to break out my power cab to test any of these, but I guess I'm gonna have to. I'll do that at the end. Let's go through these other ones first. Put that one in the test later corner. We have the AHM little tank engine. Let's see what happens. Oh. It's got a headlight, so that's good. Okay, that motor is smoking. Yeah, okay, burnt electronic smell. There's something going on in there. Very weird. I'm not going to test that one anymore until I get it open and see what the hell's going on. It seems like it would be a good candidate for, a project, but I'll put this one away for now. We'll come back to that one maybe a little later. Okay, the Rio Grande Jeep. Let's see how this one does. Yeah, like all the other ones. This one just came right to life. And then it died. Let's see. A little louder in reverse than in forward. But not bad. Yeah, I'll clean this one up, get those wheels clean, and get some oil and lube. Should be a good one to go after that. Okay, so the shell was loose enough on this Atlas Jeep that I decided to pop it open before going ahead and testing it. And wouldn't you know, got another one with a decoder inside. It looks like a decoder. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna have to test this one on my power cab too. Interesting choice using that. I would have just taken that out personally. Yeah, we'll try this one too. Pretty neat, all things considered. I honestly wasn't expecting any digital stuff at all. So we'll put that one. We'll test those two together. Hopefully, their addresses are the cab number, and that'll be easy enough to test them. Okay, the Walthers Dash 8. I'm not expecting much. The motor is not mounted to anything. It's just kind of floating on the chassis right now. The wheels are really worn away, which I imagine you can get replacements from Walthers, probably. But let's put some power to it, see what it does. Oh my god. It moves. It struggles a little bit, but like it's just kind of floating there. Yeah. Huh. Not bad. I imagine with some replacement parts this would not be hard at all to restore into a running order. And it's smooth. Grindy, but smooth. A smooth grind, as they say. I'm gonna have to rethink this one. Those wheels, though, I do not like how worn those wheels look. They're like worn down to the brass underneath, but maybe we can get replacements. I don't know. All right, next we have this U-boat for the Union Pacific. Let's see how it goes. This is another Athearn Blue Box. Got a little bit of a wobble going on there. It's kind of waddling down the track a little bit. Yeah, it's like a duck. Yeah, maybe this one... Yeah, this one's got some bad gunk too. But we'll clean it up, see if we can get it to perform just a little better. We'll see. Curious as to why it wobbles the way it does. I forgot this is the one with the big honking screw at the front. Oh, and there's this weird kind of loose wire. I didn't notice that before. Is that a ground wire? Is that why that's there? Kind of hard to tell. There's a red wire going to that screw, and I don't know why. Huh. Okay, the mystery deepens. We'll come back to that. All right, this is the Dash 8. All right, so this is the Southern Pacific Dash 9. Brand new in box, essentially blue box from Athearn. I have no doubts this will work, but let's put some juice to it and see what it does. Oh. It's got a little bit of noise. Probably need some grease in those gears, but not as loud as some of the other ones. Louder and forward than going backwards. It has a little light bulb lighting up one of the headlights. Cool. I'll put some lube to it, clean it up a little bit. I'm sure it hasn't seen any grease or anything since it left the factory, but that's a good one. Alright, keeping with that theme, this is the Athearn Blue Box Dash 9. This is the Union Pacific one. Let's see if it has the same issues with the grinding or if it runs any better. Oh, man. Little tiny bit of noise. It's worse in reverse. Interesting. Flywheel's doing their job. It's got that one headlight. Very nice. Oh man, I might have to make an offer on this one. I'm sure the guys at the club won't mind if I buy one of these. It all goes to the club anyway. I'll have to make an offer. I like that one a lot. Okay, the Bachmann Spectrum Amtrak F40PH. I have no idea what to expect out of this. I don't know if it's going to grind, or if it's even going to run, or if it has any cracked gears. Let's see what happens. Oh. Oh man, look at that. It's got the flashing lights. That's really nice. It is missing a handrail right here, I've just noticed, but probably be easy enough to make your own. Directional headlights, it looks like. Yeah. Huh. Not bad. I don't think I would want to keep this one. I'd probably go for the Walthers. If I could find a Kato one, I'd probably go for that. But that's not too bad. It weighs a lot too. I'll still put a little oil and grease in this one just to, you know, make sure it's ready to go for whoever wants to buy this. But not bad. Apparently the Bachmann offering of the F40PH is a little wrong in the shape of the nose, but I don't know, I'm not looking at these every day, so I probably wouldn't notice, but yeah, very cool. Let's put it back in the box. Okay, this is that Cotton Belt SD40T-2, but not too bad. It's very grindy. Alright, we'll lube it up and we'll clean its wheels and hopefully give it a good home. Okay, so this is one I actually neglected to show on the overview part of the video.
What? I lost your train, man.
Your existence
where I was showing everything. This is a Southern Pacific pre-merger SD40 T-2 like the last one. This is another blue box, and this is another one that was untouched. It still has all its parts and details and everything. So it's essentially new in box. Let's run it anyway. Yeah, runs just fine. As expected. Sorry for missing this one. I think when you see all these blue boxes, they all just kind of blend together after a while. Okay, here's that Burlington Northern blue box Jeep. Also essentially brand new in box. Don't think there's going to be any issues with this one running, but we'll run it anyway. I think with a nicer controller, you could probably get these crawl a little bit better. Probably use some grease on those gears, some fresh grease. Okay, SD45 for the Southern Pacific, also essentially a brand new in box Athearn blue box. Let's just test it because. I think that might be the best crawl I've ever gotten straight out of one of these. It's got some good flywheel action going on. It's not too loud in either direction. I think someone who's really into Southern Pacific would be very happy to get this one too. Very good. Okay, here's that Santa Fe. Which one is this? The SDP40. And it's in that paint scheme I really like. Let's see how it does. Yeah, kind of like all the other ones that aren't new in box. Just, you know, struggling a little bit. Probably need some clean wheels. Probably need some grease. Really like that paint scheme though. It's really nice. But yeah, it works. Well, oh, this one's got some bad gunk. Bad gunk on the treads. I think the side frame might be a little loose, or am I just... No, they're kind of loose. Loose side frames. But that should make it easier to get at everything and clean it. So we'll get to that one too. Okay, this is the Bachmann Spectrum-8 for Chicago Northwestern. This is the one that has the note that says it doesn't run. I'll be the judge of that. Let's see what happens. We'll add some power to it. we get some hum? Not much else. I'm not going to do anything else with that. So that's unfortunate. We'll pop the shell off that one and see what the deal is. Okay, this is that GP30 with the Proto Power shell, and I learned that the Proto Power shell is actually a Lionel product. This was Lionel's shell that they did when they were in the HO market back in the 70s. And I guess Proto Power bought the molds to it or whatever, and they made a conversion kit for Athern's Blue Box, I guess. Let's put it back on and see what happens. Okay, nothing. Alright, let's take the shell off since we can do that so easily. And that commutator is just, you can see that black stripe right there. Oof, that's bad. Now this all seems a little loose. It's a little bit of juice, a little bit. Okay, there is some life there. Alright, well I'm not gonna mess with it too much more. Maybe the contacts are just loose. Not entirely sure, but we'll maybe we'll mess with it. I'd like to get it running. Wheels are a little gunky, but not too bad. Yeah, we'll see. It seems like everything's there. I don't know why it wouldn't, you know, hop right up besides that dirty commutator. I'm not expecting miracles, but these things are pretty robust, all things considered. But we'll see what we can do with that. Okay, here is the Athern Blue Box SD9. I think it's the wide body one, which they did to fit the motor inside. And I think when they redid the motors, they didn't redo the shells. So you have a couple of models that have this wider than prototypical width on the hoods here. That being said, let's see if it runs. Ooh, starts right up. That's pretty quiet. A little louder in reverse, a little bit of a grind. Do you guys run your high hood units short nose first or long nose first? I always thought short nose first looked better, although, you know, in the steam days, guys would probably be more used to, you know, looking down a long hood like that, kind of like they're looking down a boiler. There's a bit of a lean to it, and slightly to one side, but yeah, it runs at the very least, so that's a good thing. We'll open it up and clean it. Okay, this is our first of 3 Union Pacific -8s from Bachmann Spectrum. No idea what's going to happen, but let's see. Oh. Nothing. Okay. Like the Chicago Northwestern, it's dead. So we'll open it, see what the deal is. I ain't gonna push my luck right now, but yeah, that's unfortunate. We've got 2 more to try, so we'll see if those other 2 have the same issue, or if they run any better, or at all, rather. Okay, the second of 3 Union Pacific -8s. We'll see if this one runs. Let's go lucky number 9381. Oh, alright, this one does run. Well, that doesn't sound great. I think this one has cracked gears. That's unfortunate. But maybe the Bachmann Parts Online store has some replacements for us, maybe? We'll have to take a look and see whether or not it's worth it for me to do it. Remains to be seen. But yeah, at the very least, this one has some life in it. Alright, I believe this is our last blue box locomotive to test, the Mopac SD40-2. Let's give it some power. Oh, nothing. Well, The insides look really dirty, just from looking down in the secret candy compartment. The wheels are really bad on this one too. It could just be a case of cleaning it. There might be a loose connection somewhere. I'll have to pop it open and take a look. Alright, our last locomotive to test is this third and final Bachmann Spectrum -8 for the Union Pacific. Let's see if lightning strikes twice or if this one's also a dud. Oh. We got movement. We also have terrible noise. Yeah, there's some gear issues there for sure. Thankfully these clips should just pop off and we can take a look inside and see how bad the issue is. Okay, well, so that's that. Okay, that's gonna do it, I think, for this testing. Okay, so we have these two locomotives that we discovered had DCC installed on them. Both Boston and Maine. Okay, they're both very different. This is an Atlas, an Austrian, made in Austria, Atlas, and this is your Athearn Blue Box. And let's put one on the track and see what happens. Hopefully I didn't fry it when I was putting juice through it with the train set controller. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and start. It's buzzing. Speed step 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh. Oh man, I was not expecting this to move at all. So this one has a Digitrax decoder in it, I think. Not my first choice. I would have remotored it first and then put a nice decoder in it, but that's just me. Oh man. So it doesn't start moving until about speed step 12, 13 out of 28 speed steps. Okay. I only have a very short run of track and I'm not going to risk launching this off the edge of this shelf here. Okay. Let's go ahead. Also, no headlights, by the way. No other accessories. It's purely motor control, which is interesting. And 310. We'll put that into the controller. Call that one up. Let's see. 310. Speed step 4. Speed step 8. I'm just jumping ahead. Whoop. Speed step 12. Okay. Start moving at speed step 12. Reverse and forward are reversed on this one. The backwards is forwards and forwards is backwards. It would be an easy fix. I don't know what kind of decoder this is. Not bad. It runs. It's smooth. Huh. Got a little bit of a grind to it, but also no headlight, no rear light, nothing like that. Purely motor control. All right, well, that was a surprise, and I don't know what to do with these. I will clean them up. I don't know what the club wants to do with them. They are interested in DCC equipped locomotives, but I don't think they're going to be interested in these for the club. So we'll see what happens to them. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of that. I know a lot of people do teardowns of blue box models and other classic trains and stuff like that. I know Ron from Classics Model Trains, Darth Santa Fe, SMT, they all do this sort of video. I'm not trying to encroach on anyone's space, but I just thought it'd be entertaining to go through pieces that were donated and see what we had. Essentially, I thought it'd be a lot of fun. It's been a while since I've done a video. Haven't really done a whole lot with the trains, although work on this 6867 model Athearn Blue Box that I've been working on has been progressing slowly. It's getting there. It needs a decoder. It needs a few more things here and there. I got a scale sound system speaker on the way and a bunch of other detail parts in the mail. I really need to compile all the detail pieces that I need before I start working on a project. I think that's one thing I need to change. So I've been working on that. And then going forward, I hope audio will sound a little bit better on my videos. It's traditionally not been very good because I'm just recording my voice into my phone or through the camera and it doesn't sound good. But I got for Christmas an audio interface, and I actually use this to practice my guitar playing through my computer. I want to use it when I record videos too. My problem is I don't have a microphone, so this video you're watching now is not using my little Focusrite, so unfortunately you have to deal with the poor sound quality, and I apologize. So that's where I've been, that's where things are kind of at right now. Not a whole lot going on. The world of model trains, I do have some things I want to maybe tease. Got this recently, my final purchase from Hatton's. We'll go into this in another video, I think. And then of course there'll be a whole video on the 6867 AC 4400 that I've been working on, and its detail and its weathering and adding the DCC to this and all that sort of thing. That'll be a later video. But I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you liked it, and I hope if you did, you consider liking the video, subscribing. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.